Harold Grinspoon and his wife Diane Troderman have done so much for the larger Jewish community and particularly for us here in the Puget Sound region. And so we've got an opportunity to talk a little bit with them and to learn a little bit more about why they've chosen to focus their philanthropy in some very specific areas, what they see the outcome really having been, and to understand why they think that our community is so worthy of their investment. So to begin with, I think probably one of the most transformative programs that you've been involved with is the PJ Library program. Could you tell us a little bit about what made you decide to create the PJ Library program?
We in the Jewish world have lots and lots of challenges, incredible challenges. We have to make everyone who decides that they're going to have an interfaith marriage feel comfortable. We have to educate people. We have to be invited into the home by their parents with PJ Library. So our first monthly delivery was 200 books in our community. And I can now proudly say that we are doing 148,000 books a month. And we came out to Seattle to thank Seattle. You folks are an amazing partner.
So about two or 3 years ago, you did a major study on the impact of PJ Library, because it's great that we get these books into the hands of our parents and our children. What were some of the most impressive results that you found from that study?
People become much more involved Jewishly. It's really amazing how this book just shows up every month, because these are the most important learning ages for children, and how the parents run with this. And it's kind of magical how it works. I think that Seattle is by far on the top edge of involvement with PJ Library and all the programs that you do. But there's lots and lots of payback, huge payback.
We send out the surveys. You know, what did you like? I mean, sure, your people know this too. But that's when we get these letters. These letters, I don't know how many, thousands of letters. And that's where we see, you know, from overseas, people that are in Afghanistan, the Jewish soldiers there. I mean, it's amazing. And then also we get from, you know, a father that his wife died. They were intermarried, but because of these books, he's able to give the children a little bit of the Jewish upbringing, and that he promised, you know, that he will continue to do it. I mean, I didn't bring any of those letters, but let me tell you, they're just wonderful, just wonderful.
For me, one of the hallmarks of your philanthropy has been both the way that you've chosen to focus it in some very specific areas and go really deep, but in some specific areas, and also the way you've committed that it's going to be done in partnership, that you're not going to do it yourself, you're going to do it with key partners, narrow focus, very, very deep. Can you tell us what that's been like, why you chose to do that, and what the results have been?
I guess you know that basically 80% of Jewish wealth goes non-Jewish. And I think in today's very challenging Jewish world, and I say this quite sincerely, I'm a little bit concerned what Judaism is going to look like in 50 years from now. But we pay for half the cost of the PJ Library project, and you pay for half the cost of it. And then we do this in virtually every project we have. We're very active in camping. And for our challenge grants that we give in camping, the camps have raised over $83 million with our challenge grants. And you folks just joined Life and Legacy, which is the most amazing return on the dollars you're going to invest. You will see that's awesome as you get to know more about that. But I believe we have to feel good about what we do Jewishly, and we have to develop our own legacy as to who we are. And I don't want to deny people the right, I like that phrase, I don't want to deny you the right to feel good about giving Jewishly. That sounds good, doesn't it?
I know, because I think in a sense the answer to the question is, well, Harold's going to be 87. And we're reduced now to riding our electric bicycles. We ride them all over the place, all rail to trails everywhere. But at one point, you know, we were hiking up mountains too. But I do think that there's a time at which you start thinking about your legacy. And what Harold knows is if he focuses on, I say it's like 3 legs of a stool, where he has the PJ and the Life and Legacy and the Camp 180, and there's another project, Voices and Visions, which are these posters that we have made with beautiful 1 or 2 sentences that I think make you think about our rich heritage. And one of the series is called Proudly Jewish, because Harold gave me an anniversary present last year, and he said I could do the posters that I wanted to do, which were a takeoff and PJ, which I say proudly Jewish. So we have this Proudly Jewish series. There's 6, and I love it. I mean, up until that, we have wonderful, wonderful posters, but you know, Baal Shem Tov, all these wonderful historical people. But I wanted the contemporary, and I wanted those that are so proudly Jewish. I mean, I honestly don't know why everybody in the world doesn't want to be Jewish. It's just great.
So my final question. Over the last roughly 10 years, you've supported our community to the tune of about $1.75 million.
That feels great.
That was my question. What's the return? What do you feel like the return on your investment has been?
It's really a pleasure to be here with all of you who have made the $1.7 million contribution that we've given you possible, because we haven't given you anything that you haven't deserved. Keep that in mind. We're partners. And you're an amazing Jewish community, and it's our pleasure